Good morning and welcome to Fast Horses Today for Sunday. It is the end of the race week over at Del Mar. Today is November 16th. And, Del Mar's scheduled to run today, so we're going to see. They got a lot of rain over the last day or so. And, we'll see. They carted an all-dirt card, so that was pretty smart because I'm sure the turf course is not ready for them to run. So we're going to see what the dirt ends up being like. It did take in a lot of rain, a lot of water, so I'm sure they did a lot of work on it. We'll see what the track will be like today. But, we're going to handicap the races as they're running today, and we'll see, if they do, in fact, run over at Del Mar. So I've got three win bets I want to make throughout the card at Del Mar. We're going to skip over the first couple. We're going to go to the third race of the day. The third race is a mile on the dirt, and these are 2-year-olds. These are California-bred maiden special weights. And, it's nice seeing the horses go over 2 turns as 2-year-olds. They're seeing who could run along now. And, I do have a win bet here. We're going to see if this play does work out here. I'm going to make the win bet on the 5 horse, who is John Metcalf. Now, John Metcalf comes out of the Craig Lewis barn. Juan Hernandez takes the call. This horse has had the benefit of 3 starts already. He's run twice over the dirt at sprint races. And, he just kind of ran even races or so. I'm not sure this horse wanted anything to do with sprinting. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like he just wasn't really, getting it done at 5 furlongs. So they put this horse on the turf, ran this horse 2 turns over at Santa Anita. And this horse ran into what I hope to be a real monster in Unrivaled Time. He ended up coming second to Unrivaled Time. That horse ran that race in just spectacular fashion as a winner. John Metcalf ran a very nice race running 2 turns. Now this horse is by Clubhouse Ride out of an Uncle Mo mare. So this horse should have no problem on the dirt and no problem at a distance. So I'm going to take that distance effort there that this horse ran in a second place finish to Unrivaled Time. I think, applying this to the dirt here at 2 turns, I don't know if this horse will get the lead again like he did last time. There might be a couple horses inside of him that want to shoot for the lead, but I think this horse should finish up very nicely. I thought he ran a nice race there and should repeat here. At 3-1, we'll see if we can get 3-1, but we'll make a win bet in the third race on the 5, John Metcalf. So I'm not sure who John Metcalf is, but hopefully you're in the winner's circle to see your namesake, taking a picture as a winner. All right, now let's move on to the next race we're going to play, that being the 5th race. Now the 5th race is a 6.5 furlong dirt sprint, and this is a first level allowance race. These are fillies, 3-year-olds and up, and these are open company horses here. I do have a win bet that I want to make here in this 5th race. I mean, there's a lot of talent, a lot of potential here. We've got, Flavian Pratt is scheduled to ride the 4 horse. I'm not sure, looks like Pratt has 1 ride today. So he showed up to Del Mar to ride the 4 horse brilliantly for Bob Baffert. Baffert's got a couple in here. So, interesting thing to note there. We'll see if Pratt actually is in Del Mar on Sunday. But my win bet is going to be on the 5 horse, who is Magnificat. Magnificat out of the Richard Mandela barn. Mirko de Muro takes the call here. Now, I had given this horse out last time this horse ran on Fast Horses Today. That was back in late October. This horse broke her maiden at Santa Anita on the dirt. And, and just really a nice race. I mean, she has 2 starts to her credit. First time out, they put this horse on a 5 furlong grass race over at Del Mar. The horse ended up losing, right on the wire, where I don't know if this horse wanted to sprint running short like that, but I think the horse just showed a ton of ability. She ended up getting DQ'd out of that race, which, I don't know what kind of call that was, but you can talk to the stewards about their calls at Del Mar over the summer. But anyway, she followed that up with a really nice race, breaking her maiden on the dirt. And I thought she ran at just a very professional style. Looked to me like de Muro was having a hard time holding her back. I mean, this horse was just full of run. I think she wanted to go towards the lead. He kind of rated her and did what he could. And then the stretch, just made a nice move. Ended up running down probably a nice potential into the hall. I think that's a John Sheriff's horse, big purchase price by Into Mischief. Ended up running that horse down at the end in a very nice race. I could see her, doing a similar thing, stalking and finishing up. Again, she's running up against some nice horses here, but I think Magnificat is going to be probably your next stakes winner or future stakes winner from the Mandela barn. So that horse is 4-1 in the program. I think we might get somewhere around that. As I mentioned, there's some talent in this race. the betting might be, spread out among several, and Magnificat could go off around that price. So we'll bet it, the 5-horse Magnificat in the 5th race. Now let's move on to the next race of the day we're playing. So the next race will be the 7th race of the day. 7th race is another dirt sprint, 6.5 furlongs. These are Calbred first level allowance horses with an option to claim for 20 for some of them. Now a tough field signed on here. We've got some horses who are multiple winners. Some horses who definitely like to run and have shown a nice record here. But I do have a win bet I'm going to make here in the 7th race. That being on the 7-horse was Berlin Wall. Now Berlin Wall comes out of the Steve Knapp barn. Tiago Pereira takes the call, and Pereira has been on this horse for his 4 starts of his life. So interesting how that worked out. Pereira was running regularly in California, ended up getting injured and missed pretty much the whole Del Mar meet. But this horse didn't run during the Del Mar summer meet, so Pereira didn't miss anything, on Berlin Wall. But I do like Berlin Wall's. I like all of his races, quite frankly. I think this horse has shown ability to fight, and I don't know if this horse gets himself into battles or what the deal is, but seems like every time he runs, it ends up being a tough trip for him, and he just battles on. So I'm hoping here that Pereira gives this horse an easier trip. I think he should get it from the 7-hole. This horse seems to, has been breaking from the inside post for most of his career and just getting in tough battles on the backstretch, but finishing up nicely. So I think maybe a little easier trip, maybe a stalking trip from the outside, that kind of thing, I think will really be an advantage for Berlin Wall. I think Berlin Wall is a very nice Calbred. We could see some nice things going forward from this horse. Maybe, some stakes action and some stakes performance, possibly stakes winner. Here Berlin Wall could be. He's by Practical Joke, certainly nice breeding, and, absolutely nice breeding for Calbreds, and out of a Uncle Mo mare. So this horse is really bred nicely for a Calbred. So I think Berlin Wall, this is a race for him to win, 4-1 here in the program. Probably get somewhere around there. And, if this horse does good things today, I think it's going to be, some bigger things in his future. So we'll make the win bet on the 7-horse Berlin Wall, just hoping that Tiago Pereira gives this horse an easier trip than he's gotten before. And I think this horse will respond. So win bet on the 7-horse Berlin Wall in the 7th race. All right, now let's recap the day and recap the bets. Okay, so to close out the race week over at Del Mar Sunday for November 16th, we've got 3 win bets here to make throughout the card. We're going to start out in the 3rd race, betting the 5-horse, John Metcalf. 5th race, the 5-horse, Magnificat. 7th race, the 7-horse, Berlin Wall. So those are 3 win bets I'm going to make. If you like to bet those, as is, I wish you the best of luck. If you want to use some of those horses in your multi-race wagers, wish you the best of luck there in whatever you decide to do. Let's wish the folks over at Del Mar a very safe day of racing today, and let's hope they're getting off their races, even though they had all that rain. Let's wish ourselves some good luck and some good trips. That usually, has a big deal there at Del Mar in the course of trying to win a race. So as always, I thank you so much for watching Fast Horses today and listening to the picks. Thank you to everybody who's hit the subscribe button from day one up until this past weekend. I appreciate everybody. If you haven't done so, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything. It just delivers the content to your YouTube feed for free. You could like, dislike, make comments, good comments, bad comments. I promise to respond to everything. Let's create a discussion. So let's end this week over at Del Mar in a winning fashion. At Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf, and we will see you back next week for more coverage. Thank you.